A to Z Mysteries, The Bald Bandit by Ron Roy. Illustrated by John Stephen Gurney. Here's a map of Greenlawn, the city where these kids live. Chapter 1. Dink slipped the plastic fangs into his mouth. He made a scary face at his best friend, Josh Pinto. Do I look like a vampire? It was hard to talk without spitting, so Dink took the fangs out again. Dink's full name was Donald David Duncan, but nobody called him Donald, except his mom when she was upset. Then she called him by all three names. Josh grinned. No, you look like a skinny third grader wearing false teeth. Wait till I put on the rest of my costume, Dink said. Then I'll look like a vampire. Maybe you will. Josh was tearing a green bed sheet into long strips, and maybe you won't. Dink's guinea pig, Loretta, crawled among the green strips. Every now and then she let out a curious squeak. How will you be able to walk if you're wrapped up in all those strips? Dink asked Josh. Josh kept tearing. Swamp monsters don't walk, he said in a slithery voice. They glide. Okay, so how will you be able to glide wrapped up in all those strips? The doorbell rang. When Dink opened the door, his next-door neighbor Ruth Rose was standing on the steps. Hi, Ruth Rose. Why are you wearing a wig? Halloween isn't until tomorrow. Ruth Rose was dressed in her usual bright clothes, a pink shirt, pink pants, and pink sneakers, but on her head she wore a shiny black wig. She also had on thick, fake eyebrows. Ruth Rose wiggled the fake eyebrows up and down. Guess who I am? Can you do that? Josh stared at Ruth Rose. A hairy princess? No. Groucho Marx? She shook her head. Tell us, Ruth Rose, Dink said. And take a look at the illustration in the top corner. What does that look like to you? And what do you think it has to do with the story? Ruth Rose pretended to strum a guitar. I'm Elvis, she cried. That was my next guess, Josh said. Ruth Rose looked at his mound of green strips. What are you supposed to be? Josh wrapped a strip around his face. He made a swamp monster face at Ruth Rose. Guess, he said. Ruth Rose smiled sweetly. You're a green sheet torn into strips? The doorbell rang again. This time Dink saw a tall man standing on the doorstep. He was dressed in a suit and tie. He had dark curly hair, a droopy mustache, and a dimpled chin. Hi there. My name is Detective Reddy. I was hired by the Greenlawn Savings Bank to find someone. Did you hear about the robbery? I'm sure Dink asked him for identification and a parent's permission before opening the door, right? Right. Josh and Ruth Rose came to the door and stood behind Dink. Dink nodded. I heard about it on TV. Are you looking for the robber? Josh asked. Detective Reddy shook his head. Right now, I'm looking for someone who saw him. When the thief ran out of the bank, he took off his mask. Some kid was walking by with a video camera. He got the thief on tape. The bank hired me to find the kid so I can get the video. What does the kid look like? Ruth Rose asked. Detective Reddy stared at her Elvis wig. Someone in the bank said he has red hair and he's tall and skinny. Sounds like you, Josh, said Dink. He laughed and pointed at Josh's red hair. It wasn't me, honest, Josh said. I don't even have a video camera. No, the kid was a lot older than you, said the detective. Probably in high school. He patted his mustache. Do you guys know anyone like that? No, Dink said, but we do know Greenlawn pretty well. Maybe we can help you find him. The detective looked at the three friends. "Tell you what," he said. "Check the high school tomorrow. If you find the kid who filmed the robber, get the video. There'll be a nice reward if you hand it over." "How much?" Josh asked. "How about $100 for each of you?" $100, screamed Ruth Rose. Dink, Josh, and Detective Reddy covered their ears. And look again what's there in the top right corner. The illustration is what? "Ouch," said Detective Reddy. "That's quite a set of lungs you've got there." "How can we get in touch with you if we find the kid?" Dink asked. The detective pulled out a small pad and pencil. He wrote something and ripped off the page. "Here's my phone number. Call me if you get that video." Dink closed the door behind Detective Reddy. He grinned at Josh and Ruth Rose. $100 each? We're rich! That's the end of chapter 1. I hope you liked it. Bye!